open standing on finance. Good morning, everybody.
Reset.
Reset, yeah. Welcome to this meeting today, March 17th, Finance Committee meeting. I'll let you know that there's a live audio video feed is being broadcast and recorded via Zoom and is available on the Town of Golden YouTube page. We have Councilors Manuel and Councilor Dale attending remotely. Councilor Hambrook is unable to be here, and the rest of councils around the table. And we have, I believe the majority of the senior leadership team around the table also. Next order, and a note for Councilor Manuel and Councilor Dale. Can we ask that you keep your computers muted until you're speaking? Just we pick up the background noise. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land in which we gather is the shared ancestral territory of the Ktunaxa and Secwepemc people. Golden is also home to Métis Nation, Columbia River Society, and other diverse Indigenous heritage. We're grateful to have the opportunity to live and work in this territory. With that, I'll ask Mr. Bill, are there any late items?
There are no late items.
Thank you for that. Council, we move on to item number 3, which is the adoption of the meeting agenda as presented. Looking for a mover. Councilor Routley, Councilor Guillo seconding that. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. And council, we have the adoption of the minutes of the last open standing committee on finance that was held on March 3rd. Looking for a move of those minutes. Councilor Guillo, seconded by Councilor Dale. Council, any errors or omissions in those minutes? Councilor Routley?
Thank you, Mayor. We raised it with yourself and staff, but just making sure that the language around the motion for the police reserve was corrected to reflect the 1% versus the $1. Very different approaches there.
Thank you for that. So a motion to accept the minutes as amended. Councilor Guillo, seconded by Councilor Routley. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. And council, is there any business arising from those minutes that we won't be dealing with? Councilor Routley?
Thank you, Mayor. I suppose just a question. It's partly a question to staff. Just wanting to make sure that committee has taken every opportunity to discuss the notion of the police reserve. And of course, this committee will recall one course of action, the 1%, not the $1, was considered and ultimately defeated. But any final direction wasn't set. And so I just feel it's imperative that we have a full conversation on the topic, including perhaps a broader policy level discussion about full cost accounting or long-term financial planning and its application across the soft and harder tangible services that the municipality provides.
Thank you for that. And in your mind, do you have where do you see that in the agenda?
I feel it's a natural fit within the ongoing reserve contribution discussions, and again, a bit of I suppose a question to staff to make sure that we're wrapping that in a bow, if that was the intent, and if not, if it feels appropriate to fit in there.
Any concerns about?
Yeah, it makes sense to discuss at that point. And then, yeah, I'm happy to speak to it.
Excellent. Thank you for raising that. We have no delegations, presentations, no correspondence. We're on to reports. We're on to the Chief Financial Officer and the draft 2026-2030 budget discussions. Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Mayor Rosist. So I thought we would start today just reviewing a few of the amendments to existing budgets included for the 26 to 2030 financial plan draft to ensure council gets their eyes on those adjustments. And so we'll start with the capital financial plan. And so the adjusted balance and sources of funding are up above in summary, but we'll just go through the pages, and I've highlighted in red anything that has changed. And if you have any questions, please just let me know. So in terms of general government services, There was just a funding shift between the information technology equipment reserve and the COVID safe restart operating. So that's on page 2. You can see in red down below. And then on to the protective services budget. As a part of, on the next page, as a part of the protective services budget, the Fire Smart SPU. So the $50,000 for that was actually included in the operating budget, and it was determined that there was actually a capital purchase associated with this, so it has been moved over. It is still 100% funded from the CRI Fire Smart grant. It's just being properly allocated to the capital plan as opposed to the operating budget. Next is just the fire hall enhancement and the freight liner replacement, and those are just the final balances for 2026 that were remaining from the budgets were established in 25, and then those funding sources down below. Okay. Next is transportation services. And so there has been a shift in terms of where the equipment loans are being held. And so there were planned equipment loans, if you look down below on the funding sources, there were equipment loans that were to be taken out in 2025. And as they were not yet completed, now we do have to take them out in 2026. And so I just wanted to ensure we had authority to move those from general surplus where they're currently being held pending drawing of the loans. And so it's just an accounting, a proper accounting. Next, we have Parks, Recreation, and Community Services. So an additional grant for the Civic Center Great Hall air conditioning has increased that project by $15,000. And so it's a no net cost to the town as it is granted funds. So that's gone from 75 to 90. And then down below, an additional $2,000 was added to the Mount 7 Recplex stage floor refinish as a result of initial inquiries into costing that has increased. And just final balances for the Recplex block redesign and pickleball courts. Those are the balances carrying forward into the new year. So some minor adjustments there. And water services. And we have shifted the funding to take full advantage of the Growing Communities Reserve fund that is on hand and must be used in the current year. And so move that from the Water Capital Reserve to that Growing Communities Reserve funding. And finally, I believe on the sewer services, we've shifted the funding so that the MFA long-term debt is being utilized a little bit sooner, with the capital reserve being used in the later half to ensure that we have sufficient in reserves to fund the project. And so just a few funding shifts there. And that is it for the capital project amendments that will hopefully go into the budget. If council has any questions.
Council, any questions on those adjustments? Councilor Wheel?
So that's based on the 6% budget increase?
The capital projects funding should have no impact on the 6 to 12%, regardless of which way. This capital will be fully funded as it is.
Okay, because I just see on this unfunded.
The unfunded projects were the unfunded. That's simply a summary. I didn't want to redo everything for council. And so that's a summary of what was already presented. My apologies. I should have said that. Thank you, Councillor Dio.
Thank you for that. Any other questions? Ms. Brown? Seeing here, then we'll move on then.
So now we'll review some of the same for the operating budgets, which is the other handout. So starting with planning and development, The funding sources for the projects were a little bit misaligned in my last presentation, so that's my error. My apologies, council. So we have taken advantage of the revenue from grants, the capacity fund for local government, so that balance of grant funding has increased. And then down below, transfers from the asset reserve and from the financial stabilization reserve. And then in addition, adding in transfers to the financial stabilization reserve that are made in order to ensure that we have funding for the OCP in future years. And so that's an increase. It's a balance that was already coming. It's just being properly allocated out of the planning and development operating budget rather than just a general transfer to reserves, trying to capture those costs departmentally. And then next, we have the fire department. And so there has been a shift in terms of the estimated balance of the service agreement. That has now got a signature and it's slightly lower than previous for 2026 and beyond. So up above, you can see that revenue reduction. And then there was an addition of leadership coaching, which is a carried forward cost from the prior year. And then there's also the project for fire smart supplies, as well as the transfer to capital projects, which at the very bottom should also be included in red. So the fire smart supplies has been reduced by $50,000 because that is the amount that would have gone to the SPU, which is now capital. And then that $50,000 is being moved from operating over to the capital. So no major shifts with this one either, just for informational purposes. On to the next is water services. And this is just a minor note that we reduced revenues by approximately $2,000. There were some minor expense adjustments, so I just wanted to make sure that that was included here, but it was only 2,000. And the same, I believe, for the sewer services, except this one was the one where I had unintentionally increased the rate by 25 rather than 15. So this is the reduction down to 15, which has resulted in a lower contribution to that sewer services reserve. And so that is it at the moment for operating budget amendments. However, I believe there is one more that I did not have time to include, some additional information that we got recently. Happy news. Happy news. But an additional budget of approximately $7,500. I will let the gentleman to my right speak to that.
Ms. Bedwick?
Yeah, thank you very much, Worship. So our recreation coordinator, aquatics lead, is breeding another lifeguard, as expecting. So is planning to be going on mat leave in August of this year. So just a small amendment for a little extra funding to ensure we have adequate overlap as we sort out a short-term maternity leave for that position. And I believe we're presenting 7,500 that we'd split with the majority of the funding going to the pool budget and the remaining going to the Recplex budget, about 2,500 to the Recplex and the remaining to the pool budget.
Thank you for that. Council, any questions? Ms. Brown, can you, under the fire department, can you speak to the service agreements as far as who those agreements are with?
Contents of it, I would need the fire chief in order to speak to that. However, it's with Pacific Wood Tech and for services that we do provide on their behalf. It was going to be a larger contract, and at this time, I believe they've taken on some of those responsibilities themselves, and so it has reduced the onus on the fire department.
Thank you for that. So it's a contract for PWT. So I guess my thought is, where is the agreement with the Columbia Shuswap Regional District fire protection, quotation marks, up a kicking horse?
The revenues for that, your worship, would be within the service recoveries. And so let me see here. Service recoveries for fire, which in 26 and 27 have been very conservatively budgeted at $1,500.
Okay, thank you. I had one other. under planning and development, can you speak to the value of the process under operating or under transfers to and from reserves? The value of the transfer from financial stabilization and the transfer to financial stabilization,
The
it's a
exact same
wash.
amount. It
Yeah,
is
it's
a wash.
Why do we include that in the financial reports like this?
In this point, I just wanted to ensure that council was aware that we make a regular ongoing annual contribution to the reserve. And so that doesn't stop regardless of the draws that are going from the reserve. Certainly in terms of accounting process, we'll likely not both draw and contribute in the same amount. However, if the draw becomes less than, we will still contribute the exact same amount to the reserve. That will not change. And so I didn't want to not note that that is a regular ongoing annual contribution.
My interpretation is full transparency.
That is a very much shorter way to say that. Yeah.
Thank you. Councilor Guile, questions?
That, was it that you were just talking about
Transfer stabilization reserve?
yeah, there's stabilization reserve. Is that something where you could put money into, like, for instance, the police fund?
Ms. Brown?
It is for specific purposes, but I would have to review that and get back to you in order to be certain if we could do it in that fashion. However, if we were to set aside funds specifically for a police fund, I would recommend establishing that reserve from the get-go to ensure that those funds are not used for other purposes.
Any follow-up?
I just thought that you could put a sticky note on it or something. And the reasoning is because of the advocacy portion where I don't want those that were trying to advocate that we have the money. You know, I think that I still believe that it should be not in its own fund, but that's politics.
So what I'm hearing is the overarching statement is for the public is that we are putting money into reserves for policing, but it's not into a policing reserve, it's into is that the reserve that that's gone into, or it could come from?
Currently, direction from council has been not to set aside any funds and not to establish a reserve. So at this point in time, there is no plans to do so. I would have to review the parameters of the financial stabilization reserve, but it is certainly a possibility.
So it would take that review to be able to determine that, yes, we could pull it from the stabilization reserve. And that's information you'll be able to get back to council.
Certainly.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the question. Anything else, council? Seeing here none, we'll move on. We're moving on to a slide deck, are we?
Okay. Next, we have a slide deck, I believe.
Carolyn, did you want a resolution to accept the amendments before you move into the property tax
Yes.
discussion?
Nice catch. And lo and behold, I'm looking for a mover. Councilor Wheel looking for a seconder. Councilor Routley. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. I have to train myself to not look up there and to look down here because the hands go up over here. It's going to take a bit. My apologies. So now we move on to the financial plan slide deck recap. Ms. Brown. I like the way we move around. The counselors just moving from over here to over there.
So, I believe it's the arrow forward button. Is there a power button? Look at that. Helps when you turn it on. Voila. So we've got the agenda. As part of this slide deck, we're going to talk about the financial plan recap. So just the operational budget summary by the segment. We're going to do a property tax revenue recap as well and look at financial plan scenarios for both 6, 8, and 10%. We are going to look at the asset management considerations that come with making a financial plan for 5 years, and then a request for direction from council regarding the property tax revenues. Potentially, if there remains time, we will also review tax rate scenarios.
Ms. Brown, for clarification, the financial plan scenarios, are we talking tax increases or are we talking budget increases?
Tax revenue increase. So it is the amount that the budget for from property taxes will be increased, not the rate for the tax rate.
So budget increase, keeping with the traditional language of council over the last number of years. Thank you for that.
Correct. So first, the recap. I've made some graphs for council just to show where our expenditures are sitting. So right now, our total expenditures planned for 2026 is $26,785,658. So this includes capital expenditures of $9.033 million, transfers to the reserve of $2.689 million. Principal interest on debt is approximately $982,000, and then operational expenditures are $14 million. So approximately half of our revenue generation would go to the operational expenditures, with the rest servicing debt reserves and capital expenses.
Are you willing to take questions as we go through the slides?
Certainly.
So I have one with regards to the debt servicing. Do we have a breakdown of principal and interest?
Yes, that would have been contained within each of the operational budgets. I don't have one currently in this slide deck.
Okay. And I think there's value to that information being out to the public just by virtue of, yes, it's debt servicing, but this portion of it is in fact principal.
Okay.
And a smaller portion, because when I think of that in the context of the provincial budget and their debt servicing load. So I appreciate that information. Thank you.
Certainly, for context, when the budget does go out for public review, it will have that within each operational segment. So if it is the fire service, you will see specifically the 5 years of principal as well as interest within that budget. So all of that information will be available for public consumption.
I appreciate that, but trying to, it's kind of a KISS perspective in that if we're able to say debt service is 982,000 of that, we have the total for all of the debt servicing, the total for all of the interest, just in one easy place to look, as opposed to the public having to go through each of the debt servicing from each of the departments, everything.
I see what you're saying.
Just,
Thank you. That's good
yeah,
feedback.
just the thought process. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the graph. I love it. It's quick. It's good information for the public. And I think that splitting up the debt servicing from principal and interest is just another level of information that the public can digest. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. So from that original chart, the operational expenditures of 14 million can be split out into by department. And so keep in mind that this is actually all departmental expenditures, not including revenues. And so once we include revenues, it's a far different picture. So general government services, the larger expense, transportation services, and parks and recreation, some of those larger operational sectors. Majority of the budget, economic development services at 60,000 is 0%. But council should keep in mind that there is a large portion of that is paid by the CSRD in order to support the economic development function. And so that would not be visible on a chart such as this, as it is a CSRD direct expense, despite the fact that it is council also that contributes that portion.
Questions for Ms. Brown, Councilor Guil?
With the operational expenses for parks and recreation, That's for staff and then just keeping the lights on, right? Like, it's not asset management for the buildings? Like, is money being taken out and put into reserves for each building?
So I'm gonna go back one slide to
Mhm.
answer that question. And this portion, the transfers to the reserves of the 2.689, all of those transfers are separate and apart from those operational expenditures. So the operational expenditures would include regular maintenance of all of those facilities, which would be a larger cost. It would not include any capital or any contribution to the reserves. But had not yet been offset by the generation of revenue.
Well,
So that's a pretty hefty line item, Parks Recreation, like second.
I would say,
Out of the budget, the operation.
so as a response to that, I would say that it generally speaking, the Parks Recreation and Cultural Services Department would employ quite a few employees
Mhm.
for the maintenance of those services. It's not only the facilities and the recreation, but it's also the forest management. It's
Yeah.
also the mowing and the garbage, I believe, in some cases. And so it's not just the service aspect of it, it's also the maintenance of the majority of
Yeah.
the parks and facilities associated.
But there is a lot more buildings than our neighbors to the south of us.
Mhm.
They're about like half,
Mhm.
because they don't have the facilities. So my question is with regards to infrastructure, like, are we putting enough away when these buildings need repairs?
I think that's an excellent question to hold when we get to the transfers to the reserve section, because that would be where we would look at, and I have included some asset management considerations for council. And that is a section where we do need to start doing better. So it's a great thing to get to the next chapter here.
And I guess comment with regards to facilities down south in the regional district of East Kootenay, and I'm thinking of the district of Invermere and the fact that a number of those facilities are owned by the regional district. They provide services to the district. Where the scenario, our area is somewhat different in that the municipality generally owns the assets, and in some instances, the regional district electoral area A contributes to the operational costs.
Which we will see when the revenue comes in.
Councilor Manuel, have a question?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello?
Clear.
Okay, thank you. I just looking at this pie chart and I was thinking that, and this may already been said because I'm not hearing. Anyway, I'll deal with that. But things like government services, transportation services, I hope there'll be more information when we put it out to the public because a lot won't be understood. Same as Parks and Recreation, they also deal with their facilities, which people might misinterpret.
Thank you for that. And that kind of ties into the question I had. Ms. Brown, could you speak to what is included in general government services? Broad,
Certainly.
thank you.
General government services would include corporate services, legislation, policy work, and not bylaw services, that's in protective. It's a split, although it's managed by corporate. It would also include finance, executive administration, mayor and council, any projects associated with those, any operational projects associated with town hall, and the like. So everything that keeps the bases running. And those costs are not necessarily partitioned out to the other areas. So information technology as well would be under government services.
Thank you very much for that.
All right. So that is the operational expense side. And now we're going to look at the revenues. It should be noted that I have not included a number for the municipal property tax. I've included a wedge in terms of approximately how much it would represent. I believe at 6%, it's around the 8 million mark. But as we have yet to determine what council direction is for the municipal property taxes, I have not included a number, just a visual for reference. So we do have transfers coming out of reserves totaling 6.12 million. We've got fees and sale of services totaling 4 million. Revenue from grants is around the 3 million mark. The regional district and other governmental contributions total about 1.85 million. We're planning to have proceeds from borrowing of approximately 1.4 million. And then revenue from interest and penalties, other revenues, grants in lieu of taxes, and frontage taxes are all included there, to total 18 million. With the addition of the municipal property tax revenue, it should balance exactly to the total expenditures, in order to ensure that we have a balanced budget to zero.
Councilor Cooper?
Can you tell us what the municipal property taxes were for last year collected?
I certainly can. In 2025, we collected 8.174 million in property taxes. So for reference, if it was 6% in 2026, we would collect 8.66 million. At 8%, it would be 8.82 million. And at 10%, it would be 8.99 million.
Thank you.
Anything else, Councilor? Out of curiosity, if it was a 10% budget increase and that the municipal property tax revenues was 8.99, so that would represent like a 40% of the pie of total revenues, kind of plus or minus. Okay, so this portion of the wedge, I'm just trying to think if it's actually representative of approximately the portion of revenues that come from municipal tax revenues of the whole revenue stream. So I guess the overarching statement in my mind is 40% of our total revenues come from property taxes, plus or minus. Okay, thank you.
Just calculating that number for you right now. So it would be between 30, I believe, 30 to 40%, depending.
Thank you very much.
All right, so on the bottom right, you can see the operation revenues of 8.344 million. Because it takes up a segment here of there are municipal property taxes, fees, and sales of services, as well as grants that would be either capital or operating. I'm just identifying that specific operating revenues for you so as to lead to the next slide, which shows you the net operations for all of those segments. So this is your operations revenue by segment: general government services with 1.8, sewer services 1.6, water 1.4, and recreational services 1.1. Golden and District Arena with 892,000, and then smaller amounts for cemetery, economic development, transportation planning, environmental and protective services.
Councilor Cooper?
Why would the arena be, I'll ask it. I know the answer now. Why would the arena not be included with the recreational and culture? But
Ms. Brown?
So as a separate service and one that is owned by the CSRD, it's important to have it separated out. Just to note that it is zero budget. When the expenditures come in, it's actually right down to nothing. So I wanted you to see the portion that is going to non-CSRD owned facilities.
So Councilor Cooper, next time I'll get you to ask the question. And
In my
answer it.
head before yeah, because as soon as it started to come out, I knew the answer, but it's good for the public to know
It's
what the
good to know.
difference is. So yes.
Excellent question.
Yeah, I have like my brain to
Held
catch
out.
up to.
Thanks for the help.
Anything
Any
else,
further
Council?
questions on operational revenues?
Seeing none, we'll move on.
So now we've got the net operations by segment. And so this is a summary for council just in terms of what has already been approved and moving forward for operational expenses. When you see the net revenue and net expense, it's important to note that that net revenue contributes to the contributions to the reserves. And so, for example, with water services, that money would be going to the reserves. The same with sewer services. Economic development services is mainly due to business licenses, and the costs of those business licenses are currently contained within other operational budgets, such as the financial portion of maintaining the business licensing system, the efforts that the planning and development services and corporate services departments go into it. And so I believe there was direction from council to consider the reallocation of those expenditures into that economic development services budget. And so as of right now, it has not yet been included, but certainly for future years, there will be a consideration of the proper allocation of those expenditures. So not visible here, as indicated by Councillor Cooper, is the Golden District Arena, which would have a zero net operational budget. It's right in the middle there where you can't see it.
Councilor Will?
And no capital cost, right?
This is simply the operational budget,
No,
not the capital.
But that arena doesn't have a capital cost to the.
It
the
does
town?
not. Those capital costs would be within the CSRD budget.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else, council?
Just thought it's a good point to pause and go back to your earlier question about the bulk of, say, for example, the earlier look at the 25% that Parks, Recreation and Culture had, and then compare that earlier pie chart with the numbers here. So you can see the actual net cost is significantly less because of revenues. So it's good to actually compare those two slides together and see how the revenues do make a significant impact on something that at first glance looks huge.
Councilor Will?
But that doesn't include their capital costs.
True. We're just talking operating at this point.
Operate.
However, for all budgets, it would not include the capital cost. So it's comparing apples and apples. So for example, within transportation services, I believe there's over 24 million in unfunded road infrastructure capital that's not included in this picture versus I think a little bit less for unfunded in terms of the recreation and cultural services for capital, but none of these budgets include that capital portion.
I'm stuck on the capital
Mhm.
because it is a big budget just for operations, and I
Mhm.
see that it's coming down because of the revenue, but the capital is something that bothers me because I think that there should be some way to extract users, like financially from the users, to put money away for the capital. Small fee, an extra fee. Though it is owned by the whole municipality, but I do believe that there should be some sort of a contribution from the fees to go towards capital. Even if it's just a separate little fee. On owned, on town,
municipally owned.
not shared, operated, but for the town-owned facilities. I believe that the users are the ones that are getting the benefit, but the cost of the capital improvements is spread across the whole municipality, and I think it needs to be shared a little bit more to the users.
Mr. Jennifer has hand up. We'll go to Ms. Brown then.
So I definitely agree. And that's actually a very interesting concept of having a portion of the fee allocated to capital. However, I would also note that within recreation and cultural services, there is a portion that is a benefit to the community. And so there would be no there's certainly a way to get 100% cost recovery. Council would have to decide on that spectrum where they sit. But an interesting idea nonetheless, that's perhaps for policy consideration.
Paul, Councilor Quill.
I know the Parks Board in Vancouver is looking at this exactly right now. So it's not, it is being talked about in other municipalities. I think it's a way that we won't have these issues with like the pool coming to an end, or I just think that there should be these reserves on these buildings. And this would be a way to do it.
Certainly.
Ms. Brown, follow up.
I would also recommend that when we talk about those reserve contributions, we consider that as well. There is currently contributions to the reserves for recreation and cultural services, but I do believe it's an area that has perhaps been overlooked in the past in terms of maintaining those contributions going forward. So we can look at increasing those contributions into the future for sure.
I'll shift to Councilor Cooper and then Councilor Rutledge.
I would say I'm opposed. There's also things like such as parks. No one pays to use our parks. That costs us money, and that's a service to the community. And there is shelters and there is expenses that are operational just for kids to play in a park. So to me, it's a dangerous, well, it's not dangerous. It's a slippery slope as to who is paying for what, because there is free services within an operational budget for recreation. That are you going to put collect a loonie every time someone goes to a park? Like, so it makes it an distribution, to me, a bit of a policy issue.
So let's follow up on Mr. Pedrick.
Yeah, thank you very much, Your Worship. As the conversation is going on, I'm just floating into this whole thoughts of terms of reference for your forthcoming recreation master plan and the idea of unpacking this in a greater context. Because as Councillor Cooper alluded, you have park spaces, you have contribution agreements for cultural services included in these budgets as well. But the concepts of almost like an airport improvement tax that could go to or fee that could go to help bolster reserves from revenue generating facilities is definitely something that's very feasible to explore. In my mind, the best place to start unpacking this and developing some clear guidance for staff on bringing forward a future policy would be through that recreation master planning process, because we could spend the time to get some policy language in front of council and debate the merits of this to be able to start making some more aggressive contributions to those reserves for our facilities.
Thank you for that. Any follow-up, Councilor Cooper?
Can you refresh my memory? When was this master plan? I think it was the fall. Was this when it was in the budget for this year or the next year?
So the plan for this year is to do a presentation to council that kind of gives council an overview of recreation master planning 101, get the idea out there in terms of different ways a project like this can be untackled, hopefully get some political direction on what the appropriate terms of reference would be for a plan. And then after election for 2027, start working on more of a formal RFP and really getting this project kind of rolling. Because just based on some other projects like your pool study and such right now, staff are kind of maxed out to be able to unpack a project of this magnitude before election.
Thank you. Councilor Rutledge?
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry, supportive of a middle of the road approach. Certainly recognize, that within the capital budget of any department, but rec is obviously special in this case where we've got a lot of grant funded services. Our RMI lives within rec's capital budget. I think napkin math looks like 25% is from reserves versus grants or other sources. And so certainly like the whole notion of rec services are those services which the community has elected to undertake. And so we've have these facilities like the Civic Center, like go down the list here, the Recplex, where, you know, we have an obligation unless we want to begin, you know, sunsetting a service, to maintain or otherwise find opportunities to improve. Certainly, where capital costs are being driven by, you know, user groups or user demands, I think there's always opportunity to try to encourage some chipping in. But certainly ultimately it comes down to this notion of the community having elected to undertake the Parks and Rec services, and making sure that the community having elected to do that continues to fund those services sustainably. So middle of the road approach, I think, is certainly necessary. Just trying to offer the third option between perhaps Councillor Cooper's and Councillor Guio's perspectives. So yeah.
Think of that. For myself, so using Parks and Rec as the example here, we've got 3.5 million of expenses. We have 1.4 approximately of revenues. So if in fact you were going to take a portion of those revenues and put it into reserves, it would just, it's just a shell game as far as you're taking out, you put in reserves, you would actually have to tax more for the operations of those things on an annual basis. It would just reduce that 1.4 revenues to say $1 million revenue. So there would be $2.5 million worth of taxation that would go to to cover the operational costs of Parks and Rec. So is that not a fair interpretation, Ms. Brown? Sorry to put you on the spot.
State.
Okay.
I suppose I'd say
Let you have the discussion.
all things being equal, I guess that would be the case. What I'm hearing from Councillor Guio's proposal would be that there would be an increase in the revenues, which are then directed towards those reserves. And so, yes, in a static case, if we're just shifting towards reserve contributions, then you'd see an increase in taxation to try to keep paying for those services otherwise. But if we're increasing fees for the service, then you wouldn't necessarily.
Absolutely fair, but if that increase in fees translated into an increased percentage of revenue generated by the service and was not put into reserves, it would just reduce the burden on the ratepayer for the operations of that service. But you're just putting it in a different place. Councillor Guio?
So it's kind of like in Salmon Arm, they have pickleball courts outside, and they have a group that uses it all the time, and they want preferred times. And so they allow, so the city of Salmon Arm takes $25 per member of that group, so they can have preferred times. And then that money has gone into their capital, like reserves for fixing up the pickleball courts. It's just, it would be, and I know that Vancouver is looking at it, it wouldn't be fees, it would that would be charged user fees. It would be an additional fee,
Like a surcharge.
a surcharge for, yes, that's what they're looking at.
Thank you. Mr. Pedvick?
I think now would be a decent time to remind council that alternate forms of revenue is one of your strategic priorities that's been thrown on my plate to bring back some ideas and such for you. And hearing a lot of this conversation, there's a lot of things that are kind of on my radar that I intend to bring forward to council at some point in form of a memo or a greater conversation on ways we can be a bit more creative with our rates. A wonderful example that just landed in my court last week is our volleyball group that privately rents the facility is actually donating the surplus of their funding back so they can buy some more nets and more equipment that they want to donate to the Recplex to upgrade stuff. So at a staff level, we're having some really great conversations with our user groups. The rates for renting outdoor courts is on the horizon. We want to get that facility open and tested before we come back to council and present rates for that, because there's a lot of other intricacies that we have to kind of sort out before we go whole hog with introducing new rates for that. But again, one of the best places that in my mind to have a more wholesome conversation about that is this whole idea of rec master plan and getting some more, deliverables and ideas on the table for council to wrestle with.
Thank you for that. Anything further, Councilor Grow? Well, thank you for raising that. I'm sure it's been a good conversation. And anything else on this slide? If not, we will move on to the next one. Property tax revenue recap.
At the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the budget season, I should state, the question asked of council is this the direction that council would like to see continued? So the 25 to 29 financial plan, council had directed for 5 to 8.97%. And I believe the 26 draft budget was originally targeted as 6%. So this is just where we have been in the past. Noting that we still have that a looming infrastructure deficit. There have been some larger increases in the last few years, but also some lower increases in the years prior. So just a quick recap of the revenue increase for municipal property taxes and that contribution to the budget. If there were any questions.
Can you speak to the line, the 8.9, 14.25?
So in 2024, the budget for revenue from municipal property taxes was increased by 14.25%. In 2025, it was only increased by 8.97%. And then council requested that the remainder of the year stay at 6%.
Thank you.
Okay.
Seems to be no questions. We'll move on then.
So now we've got some financial plan scenarios and just some information for council to consider as we discuss where we're going to land. With scenario 1, we have got a 6% increase, which would mean municipal property tax revenue of 8.664 million. With all of these scenarios, this is all just the 2026 budget initially. And I've kept the transfers from the reserves, the revenue, the operations and debt, and the capital expenditures all steady so that you can see the impact of only changing that municipal property tax percentage increase. So in scenario 2 at 8%, it does show a financial plan balance that is positive of 66,842. We cannot budget for a surplus. That would be the portion of that particular scenario that would be reinvested into the reserves. So this is simply to show you the balance change. And I just wanted to make that clear that we would reinvest those funds into the reserves. The same with the 10% scenario. The financial plan balance of 230,000 in the first year would be reinvested into reserves and would increase those contributions. If we were to go with a 6% base increase, then council would need to provide direction on where we would gain that 96,000. The obvious options would be increases to the tax revenue or a reduction of expenses and or service levels or a reduction of the existing reserve contributions. So are there any questions on those scenarios as they currently stand?
Council? No.
So
Good information. So we move
before
forward.
deciding on a scenario, I wanted to bring in a little bit of the asset management considerations as well, because this is such a large discussion ongoing in all municipalities, not just in BC. So
This is the fear factor.
this is the fear factor. I think I would call it the reality factor as opposed to the fear factor though. So, however, this slide perhaps speaks to fear factor more so. So what impact will these scenarios have on the town of Golden in terms of our financial sustainability for 5 years and beyond? So scenario 1 at 6%, in the first year gives us a $96,000 deficit, but over 5 years, it's a $1.554 million deficit. And for clarity, I just want to ensure council understands that scenario 1 assumes 6% for the next 5 years. Scenario 2 assumes 8% for the next 5 years, and scenario 3 assumes 10% for the next 5 years. So the annual asset management sustainable funding estimate that has currently been provided from the long-term financial plan calculations being made by our consultant. So we do have a long-term financial plan for asset management in the works in the background here. And this is the base level of funding, sustainable funding, that council should be setting aside or spending every year. And so over the next 5 years, council has committed to capital expenditures totaling 21.8 million. And so that's considered a contribution to that sustainable funding level because we are renewing capital. And this capital is only for renewing existing capital. If there are projects that are adding to our capital assets, so if we take on new assets or otherwise, that expense total is not included in here because we would have to increase that annual asset management sustainable funding level in that case. So I've looked at all of the capital expenses that are simply for renewals over the next 5 years, and that's 21.8 million. And then at the very minimum level, the contributions to the capital reserves that are planned for within the existing financial plan are 20.9 million. However, in order to do all of the capital plans, all of the capital projects, we are also drawing that 15.1 million. And so I have to reduce the capital expense total for reinvestment by the amount that we're taking out of reserves. So the 5-year funded capital is basically the sum of the capital expenses, so the projects, less the reserve draws that we're having to do in order to carry them out, plus the reserve contributions that we are making at a minimum. So we have funded 27.6 million in capital, but the 5-year sustainable funding level would be 35.5. So that 35.5 million is taken by looking at the 7.108 million in terms of the annual asset management sustainable funding and multiplying it by 5. So that gives us a 5-year funding gap of 7.9 million. So to properly fund those 5 years, we would have 7.9 million more in reserve contributions or more in capital projects not funded by reserves.
Can you please say that again?
Certainly can. So do you want me to walk through the calculation?
No, just actually the statement. I just missed the statement.
Okay.
It's distracting.
So the current plan shows that we would have a 5-year funding cap of 7.9 funding gap, pardon me, of 7.9 million. And so in order to have no 5-year funding gap, we would have to either contribute an additional 7.9 million to reserves
Over the 5 years.
over the 5 years, or we would have to do an additional 7.9 million in capital project renewals without using any reserve funding.
And the option for doing some of those renewals would be grants.
Would be grants,
Thank you.
contributions.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper.
Yeah, so looking at this, I find a little problem, like different scenarios, the fact that it's 6 to 8 and 10 over the years, just because when we look at the history, we've gone up and down 5, 6, 8, 14. So it's saying that this is it over the time. I find each year council has a choice. So it could go up one year and then lower next, depending on what's happening. Also, I find like I'm curious, the fact is, as more development is happening, is our tax base not growing, and is that calculated? Are we having more properties paying into a tax pool each year that is captured in this or that is not captured in this.
So Ms. Brown, can you speak to the historical non-market, maybe for the last just a couple of years, if you have that information available?
I do not have the non-market contribution available at my fingertips, but I can speak to the general concept. And that would be more so that that the tax rate setting and the proportion of that spent is completely separate and apart from the revenue target that council sets. So usually council would set the revenue target to balance the budget for operations. And then it would be a future consideration subsequently in terms of how to balance that amongst all of those, all of the different like residential, the different classes and otherwise. I believe that in most current years, most prior years, pardon me, what has been done by council is they have reduced the impact on the existing base of taxpayers by the amount of the non-market change. So for example, if you did a 6% increase, you would look at that when we went to tax rate setting, and however much we had in terms of non-market change would end up impacting it such that the tax rate or the tax revenue needing to be covered by the population or the taxpayers would be less that not market change rather than considering the non-market change. So the amount of new builds or changes to the market contributing as a bonus to the budget. Does that sort of answer your question? Yep.
Any follow-up, Councilor Guil? Councilor Guil?
So if we went to scenario, say 4 and went with a 12% budget, how would that affect?
So I will go to the next. So this is scenario 1, 2, and 3, and it shows the sustainable funding gap after those 5 years. And so you can see the difference between the 6, 8, and 10 in terms of the total sustainable funding gap after 5 years, almost 10 million at 6%, a little more than half at 6.5 million at 8%, and then 3.435 at the 10%. And so I did calculate, and I should note, and so I understand the request for the 12%, but what has been done here is not taking the contributions that would be going back to the reserves between the 8 and the 10% with those financial plan balances. So I made a calculation, and if the tax revenue increase was 9.67 per year for the next 5 years, the total 5-year sustainable funding gap would be 0.
So that would be going into the reserves?
Yes. And so what wasn't calculated here with the 5-year sustainable funding gap was the fact that the 5-year plan balance, so like with 8%, that 1.392 million, that would go back to reserves. And as long as council decided to 100% commit that to capital reserves and none of the others, then you would have a sustainable funding gap estimated, this is very preliminary numbers, of 0 for the next 5 years at 9.67%. And I did perhaps add a little extra nudge with the excerpt from the draft capital financial plan here of the 5-year unfunded capital projects that are currently not ongoing due to.
That's based on our population and our housing now. If we had increased building, that would be adding to our population, that would put us closer to where we need the policing fund. Could that money be put into reserves for policing, but not under the name policing?
But then, and that's why I asked, what's the value of the non-market? Because is it 1%? Is it 5% on an annual basis? You know, recognize that fluctuates. Ms. Brown?
So right now, I think what's happening is we're mixing the tax rate and the tax revenue. This is the tax revenue increase. In terms of the tax rate and the population and who contributes and how much, that is 100% a separate conversation. So in order to contribute to a policing reserve, which would probably have to, the policing reserve would not necessarily have to be capital or operating. It could offset either or, but that would be separate and apart and a new reserve and a new consideration. This is for existing capital, existing budgets only.
Oh, okay. Real. No.
It's just too confusing. I feel like this budget is based on what we need to operate. And we're not considering who's actually in the municipality paying for it now. This is just the money. So like, I'm not looking at the tax, what we're bringing in at our population now. It's kind of hard to forecast what's going to happen in the next 5 years.
Oh, Ms. Brown?
So to be very clear, the tax that we're bringing in, this budget is asking that you set a target for the tax. And so that 6% to 10% increase is saying we need $9 million in order to fund operations as well as the capital contributions and operating contributions to the reserve. And so it is asking for a specific budget. And then the growth of the population would be separate and apart from that. So you are correct in that if there is additions and non-market change, it will reduce the impact, because if you have 5 people paying and then you have 10 people paying, it will reduce that impact on those 5 people originally. So that is correct. It's just not considered in part of this portion where you're establishing the revenue target. That is more so when we go into tax rate and you establish the average cost per homeowner.
Oh,
Well, the problem is that if you set your tax rate to cover this, and then we do get more non-market, all you're doing is splitting it up more. So I see the benefit of the non-market because it's just lowering the tax then. But how do you take advantage of that non-market that's going to happen so you can put that into reserves
Ms.
without
Brown?
budgeting it and making everybody now having to pay it?
Ms. Brown?
So I think that I understand your question. However, I believe in many of the years past, we have had non-market change, and we're looking at a 5-year budget, but realistically, you're establishing a baseline for next year. And so for next year, in terms of the percentage increase and knowing that there will be an amount of non-market change, which I believe I do have for you, but there will be a reduction of the impact on people so long as council decides to use the non-market change in that fashion. And so year over year, council will be able to make that decision. As Councillor Cooper had said, is that this is a decision for a 5-year plan, but every year you can decide if you want to continue with that plan or change it.
Think of that. And that's why I go back to how much influence or impact does the non-market change have? And I think of it, and I've always been very much like Councillor Wheeler. It's like, it's a fairly large number, but I think in reality, when we look at the overall revenues, the non-market change is actually quite a small number, and it doesn't have that much of an influence on, it has an influence, yes, but it's not as much as we would like it to have on the existing ratepayers by virtue of saturation. Following up, Ms. Brown?
I would also say that the establishment of the budget is not always, should not always be dependent on the growth or non-growth of the population. It is the needs of the municipality to maintain assets that currently exist and operations that currently exist. And so by setting those budgets and setting those targets for the reserves, you're dealing with what is currently in play. And that regardless of whether the population grows or not, and whether there is new development or not, unless there is a change in the number of assets or a change in the levels of service or otherwise, those assets exist and we need to maintain them.
Final follow-up.
Well, the problem is that we're talking about a policing budget that isn't needed here. Well, I am talking about that. And so it's not needed now, but it will be needed when we reach that target. So it's really hard to think about planning for the future of that extra amount of population. Because you say the budget is for our services and for now. So when you talk about reserves that are definitely responding to a population increase, which would be the policing, it's really, I find it really difficult. You know, that's why I kind of like, I'd like to put it up higher, the budget, but
To be
it's-
able to accomplish those other
Yeah.
things. Ms. Brown?
I would say that it would be the same as if a department were bringing you a service level change request. And so that's what's happening with the policing reserve is it's a request for a service level change. And so that would have to be considered as an addition to the budget. You have your existing services and that is a bubble of here are the assets we need to maintain. Here are the services we are operating under. And now, although it's not staff that is bringing forward a new service level change, it is the environment that you're operating within that is providing you this police service is going to be coming in. And we need to plan for it. We need to make sure that we have. And so that service level change that is impending, whether we decide to deal with it now or deal with it later, whether we decide to put reserves aside or leave it until such time as you must, that's a service level impact that has to be contemplated by council and either added to the budget or not. But it is not part of the existing budget, which is where it has currently been proposed as council requested specifically not to include the policing. So none of this budget contemplates that as an addition.
Thank you for that. I think we'll move on. I've got Councillor Cooper, then Councillor Manuel, then Councillor Elby.
And Councillor Dale's next too. He's on there too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess when I'm interpreting this, I'm also thinking of things such as our DCCs and our operating expenses that potentially could change some of these totals, such as we have capital projects that could be funded from other sources when bylaws change in the next year. So it also offsets some of these surcharges for big things, because I'm assuming that when we're looking back a few slides, those are charges that are currently in the budget. However, if we have a revenue increase due to DCCs, it would take away some of those expenses in that revenue capital project space, would it not?
Ms. Brown, some clarity?
It is it's true but hopeful, if I put it that way. And so looking at this draft capital financial plan, that 37 million that is currently unfunded, there is a potential for some of those projects to be funded by grants and to be funded otherwise. But even if it were halved, we're still looking at 20 million in unfunded projects in just the next 5 years. And so while developer cost contributions might have a certain portion that would contribute to these projects, it's also because there's growth that's occurring, and those cost contributions would be the result of additional assets coming on board, thereby increasing the amount of sustainable funding that we would need to contribute in order to maintain our existing assets.
Follow up?
Yeah, can I ask Mr. Cochran, out of the projects that are listed for the capital on here, are some of them also included on the DCCs? Like, what is there overlap here, or all the DCCs are all the unfunded, or are they actually also in the budget? Because that bylaw is coming up this year.
Mr. Cochran?
Through your worship, the simple answer would be no, there's no overlap. In fact, I'd say that DCC revenues are needed as a result of community growth, and they're developer driven. So they should be separate from this. Yep.
Thank you for the clarification and a very succinct answer. Councillor Manuel? We need you to turn. Mike? Councillor Manuel, your mic's not on.
And is it now?
It is now. Thank you.
Thank you. We've talked about non-market housing, and there's larger developments which seem like they could be larger contributions, but I'm wondering, there's often larger infrastructure to make these larger developments viable, and DCCs are used, but do they eventually become part of our infrastructure, which we need to start budgeting for?
I've got both Mr. Cochran and Miss Brown shaking their heads, yes. So it adds to the long-term burden. Are they assets or are they long-term liabilities? Any follow-up, Councillor Emmanuel? No, okay, I'll move on to Councillor Routley. And
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, what I'm hearing is staff presenting a real opportunity for committee and therefore council to have, this sort of principled policy level discussion around the sustainable funding. We're getting shown the reality factor, and I feel personally it's critical that we with recognizing that there's also contributions from growth in this and all this other stuff. Ultimately, this is for in this static moment, in a void, the vacuum, like this is what we have in the ground right now. And there's an opportunity to begin funding this at a sustainable level so that we're not essentially robbing future generations of any opportunity. Some might say that this is a consequence of prior generations not doing this, and therefore, here we are being slightly robbed. And yeah, so I just lost my train of thought. I guess it's important in my mind that we dispel ourselves of the notion that there is going to be some magic silver bullet grant from the feds or from the province that will just come and save us. Certainly staff are more than capable of finding those opportunities, and those are great. Those are going to be windfalls, but we have a fiscal, to remain fiscally responsible, we need to ensure that we are actually putting aside the cash regardless of whether there are any of these magic grants that are never oversubscribed and always available and just immediately post dated or written out for the town of Golden. And similarly, I think it's important, and what I'm hearing from staff is that there's potentially a shift in approach with regard to how we address non-market change with this. Any non-market change not necessarily being used as a tool to assuage, stepping out of the vacuum of just tax budget to overall tax allocation, shifting it away from this relief for the current taxpayers to continue to fund the current assets in the ground, but rather to shift them maybe towards that smaller extra bit of contribution towards the reserves. I'm certainly partial towards that notion of changing how we approach non-market change as being itself a bit of a windfall that we can immediately slap into reserves. And then in the next year of each financial plan, we go, okay, like we have a bigger pot now, but ensuring that we're only ever looking at the current tax base and what the current tax needs are for maintaining the assets that we have, and then anything else that comes down the line, whether it's a grant, whether it's non-market change, anything special like that, treating it as a windfall and putting it back in towards the reserve. So maybe we can eat away a little bit, and we'd be able to minimize how long we'd have to be at 10% to finally get out of this infrastructure deficit. That's just what I'm hearing.
Thank you. I'm going to go to Councillor Dale.
Thanks, Wes. That kind of summed up the gist of what I was trying to get at too. But also, when we talk about big ticket projects like water and sewer, and think about all the people out there that are saying, well, why didn't you guys think of this 20 years ago? Well, this is us now trying to think of the future. For example, with the RCMP, we know it's coming. Yeah, let's wait 5 years and all of a sudden we got the big bill. Why didn't you think about that earlier? Well, this is our opportunity to think about it now and learn from past mistakes, although maybe not be such a palatable thing for people, just one more tax we got to pay, but in the end, it's got to be paid. So let's do a little bit now if we can and be proactive. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I've got Councillor Wheel and Councillor Manuel.
So is it possible to, because I don't know if that's a possibility to make the non-market change go into reserves if there's extra? 'Cause that's what it sounds like what you're trying to say. Instead of spreading it over the who's paying what now, where it kind of lowers everybody's taxes. Where the non-market, if there is a non-market, can that be extracted? Instead of lowering people's tax rate, can that non-market that comes in be put into a reserve? I think that's what you were trying to say. Is that correct, Councillor Routley?
Councillor Routley?
I clarify, yeah. I guess shifting the approach from using non-market change as a dampener for overall tax impact, and instead, I guess it's just shifting the maths approach, starting at going at the tax rate setting, ultimately seeing where that lands with market change. Sorry, I think I'm messing up my own order of operations here. Going from the market change to the existing tax base within market change, saying, okay, that value, if we need to then figure out how much the tax rates would need to be at for this tax budget to be achieved, and then ultimately wherever the chips fall when those tax rates get applied to non-market change, allowing that to be like the windfall. I looked us down on the feasibility of that.
Ms. Brown?
I think those could and should be considered two separate conversations. My advice to simplify would be to set the budget where it's required, and then to set the tax rates based on the non-market change once we become aware of it. And if we set the budget where it's required and the non-market change is able to reduce that balance, then great. And if it's not available in a year that it might not be available, then that's unfortunate. But at least we know that council is setting the budget and the direction that is required in order to be sustainable.
Question of clarification. So using the non-market change that way is actually using it to actually reduce taxation as opposed to putting it into reserves. Is that what you were saying there?
It's not reducing taxation or putting it to reserves. Rather, it would be setting the budget for what is required and then allowing the tax rate setting to be a separate conversation, and how the impact of that non-market is felt will be a reduction to the rate, not to the budget. And so those are two separate things. If you want additional money to go to the reserves, set it as a part of the budget and ensure that we've got clear direction on where that goes. And then the non-market change, which is variable and change year over year, is not defining how you are budgeting for sustainable financial continuation.
Thank you. The speaker list, I'll go to Council Manuel, then come back. Council Manuel, your mic. Not yet. Ms. Seville, are you able to assist? No. I'll give you a couple seconds there. We'll go to Council Will and then I'll come back to you.
So the other question I have for staff is, the problem is if we set the budget and we don't have a lot of non-market change, then the taxpayer is going to be on the hook for it. So the whole idea of using the non-market as funneling it into a reserve is a problem if you don't have it coming in. So you want to go like budget first, and then then you're kind of setting yourself up for this situation if there isn't that much non-market. It would be nice to be able to use that non-market as
But there's the unpredictability of it.
yeah, it's a
Mr. Denegar, comments?
Let me say, just stepping back, for those who read the community charter on a daily basis just for fun, it's actually structured specifically to put you in the bind that you feel you're in. Like the order of setting your budget and setting your revenue to match your expense needs is set in legislation by the province specifically, so that you have to make the decision, as you should make the decision, what do we need to bring in total to keep things running sustainably? Then you're supposed to have the conversation, which Ms. Brown keeps asking you to please leave it. That is the next conversation that has to happen, is okay, now what does it look like for the individual ratepayer? And if there's the bonus year where we have a lot of growth and that non-market change allows us to, say, lower the burden on existing residents or something like that, that playing to do in the charts later today, that should be the separate conversation. And yeah, we don't know what it's going to be. And any non-market change in one year just becomes the baseline for the next year, right? So we can't lean on that any more than we can lean on grants as some sort of magical solution to the fact is every resident, whether they're new or they've been here for 20 years, has to contribute some amount to a sustainable community. And that's why the legislation is set up that way, is to force you into this decision of, do we want to continue down the road of getting an ever bigger capital deficit? And every community is in this same situation. We're not alone in it. But are we going to start making steps to deal with this, making those tough decisions of we need to bring in more revenue as a whole? And then once you're comfortable with how long it's going to be until you get to that sustainable level, like I think Ms. Brown said, if we had 9.96% over 5 years, 9.67 slide just came up there. So if we did 9.67%, this isn't taking into account inflation or growth and all these other lovely variables. That's why we renew this process every year. Theoretically, at this point, if we set the rate at that for total revenue brought in through taxation, we're going to become sustainable at the end of 5 years. So if that's, yeah. So this is a CAO speaking. CFO will correct things I'm saying wrong here. So theoretically, we're trying to get that decision out of council right now as to how long do you want to take to become sustainable. All else just sort of for now, just for simplicity's sake. But if council's decision is the scenario one, the 6%, we're not really making any inroads into dealing with this gap that exists. And if we look that previous slide that was up there had that unfunded of almost $38 million of unfunded infrastructure. That's not even taken into account of, right? This is still to be figured out. And DCCs aren't going to fix that. Grants aren't going to fix that alone. Ultimately, the community has to pay for these things, just as any homeowner has to pay for their own roof replacement and driveway repaving. The fact is you can't avoid it forever. So when
Unless
we
you
get
sell
to the
the
next
house.
conversation, unless you sell the house or get a tenant, and that's why we're going to look at alternate revenue sources as well. But that's just a drop in the bucket, realistically. Ultimately, we decide how long is it going to be until we're sustainable, and every community is struggling with this. And then how that works out through tax rates, that'll be the next conversation.
Thank you for that. I have a question about that, and how it does not align up with the other one, but I'm gonna leave it. Is there a final follow-up, Councilor Guerrero, with regard to this, or?
So if we went with a 12%, that would put us in a really better position so that if there's any emergencies or anything, because our borrowing power is going to be reduced right now because of all the capital.
That's a tough question. I think that a 12% would certainly give additional funding to the reserves, but there needs to be a balance of affordability to the community as well. So I would try and go to the best possible outlook for the corporation with the lowest possible increase, which is why that 9.67% is up there. If in the future council decides on a policing reserve, perhaps that 967 needs to increase to a 10 so that we can put those funds aside. But as the picture changes next year, it might not be 967, it might be 9.4. And those options will be brought forward to council to say, here's what it looks like for the next 5 years.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your patience, Councilor Manuel. You have a question?
No, I just want to follow up on what Councillor Routley said and Mr. Derrigar. I don't even think of it in terms of grants, but the provincial government and the federal government have got their own problems. Provincial government ministers said they're broke. Federal government are now trying to build an armed force as well as everything else they do. I think we need to be careful and not expect support from other large group senior levels of government. It might come, but we can't count on it these days.
Thank you for that. Question to Ms. Brown. I mean, scenario one, the slide that's on the screen right now is identical to the slide in your presentation. Scenario two actually has different numbers when you, the total is 6.539, and then scenario two is 5.146. What's the difference there? What's happened? Please, thank you.
With the initial scenarios, it was calculated keeping all things constant. With these scenarios, the assumption is that we balance the budget for each of the 5 years, and 100% of the positive amount in the 5-year plan balance will be going to capital reserves.
Thank you for that. And this again goes to the 9.67 you spoke about earlier, and displays it for us visually, saying that comes to a zero balance.
Correct. And so if you look, as Councillor Guillot asked about the 12%, if you look at that 10% increase, if you did 10% per year for the next 5 years, over the course of those 5 years, you would have 1.06 million to contribute over and above to reserves, over and above the sustainable funding gap.
And that's over and above
So that could be
amounts that are already going into reserves.
correct. And so that could be earmarked for a police reserve should council decide to do that as well, or for operating reserves, which still don't have much contributions. But that's a conversation for another day.
Okay, thank you. Any queries, questions, council? Lots of information. Councilor Rowley spoke about robbing future generations. as this generation has been robbed by previous generations. That's where my mind went automatically, in that councils of the past haven't done the due diligence that they should have been doing, in my mind. That's how we're in this situation we're in, and where the impacts are as large as they are. The need is as large as it is. I'll go to Council Wheel, then Council Cooper. Sorry.
I'm kind of like leaning towards the 10% because I think that money in the bottom in 5 years from now would be good for the policing reserve.
It would be good to have additional revenues of $1 million that are basically unallocated,
Yeah.
that the councils of the future could make some.
Well, it would be
decision on.
allocated because you have to allocate it. So it would be going into a reserve
Reserve,
that's not
Yeah.
named policing, maybe financial.
but it has some flexibility.
Yeah.
Council Cooper, thank you.
Moving forward, so whatever one we pick, then we find out afterwards what the tax implications are. But next year, so we go 9.67 in the hopes that we have 0 after 5 years, and then we find out next year that we have something, and then we can reduce down because now we're going to get to 0 at 8%, or we pick 10%. And then my only worry is if we go to 10% and then it sticks to 10%, and then we are actually overinflating what we're paying for the current tax base for, we don't know, because we can reduce. Once we vote on this, we can't go back and change it. So we have the option next year to reduce. If we're at 1, like 9.67, we can go down to 8, or we can go up to 10 once we see what the implications are, because we haven't done this before, right? So I'd be way more willing to go to the, really, I want the 8, but I'd be willing to go to the 9.67 just to the fact that we can have the option to look at it next year to see what had actually happened, because we don't know right now. It's all speculation.
Each and every year.
I know, but it is a game. It is a guessing game, and we don't know what the tax implications are. So I don't want to get stuck into one number and then find out that we're now increasing our taxation to a huge number, like the huge inflation number that homeowners can't afford.
But my takeaway is for you, this has provided you with good information so you can actually set a direction for the way you feel you should be voting on.
Well, because I'm going to vote 6% if I'm like, no, but reduce the, but but I mean, like, it's the realistic part of it. Like, if we go to the 10%, then we're really locking in. And I find that it's all on speculation. What if this or that? And to lock in at a lower rate, and then we actually have 1 year under our belt to see it draw out, to see where it actually falls next year.
So for clarity, the 10%, in theory, we're locking it in for 5 years, but the reality is it's only locked in for 1 year, because we do this whole process again next year. Then we'll look at that 10 and go, oh no, that it's not necessary, or we need more, whatever.
Well, historically, when I'm looking, we don't go, oh, let's like it lower. It's like we just keep it at that same rate, and then it just keeps going up and up and up. Like, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Rutley.
Thank you, Mayor. Certainly with all of the development that is knocking at the door at the door of the town of Golden, it's certainly hopeful that, notwithstanding the potential service increases and therefore the required contributions also increasing a bit, by starting early, we can be a bit. We can allow compounding interest to do some work for us. And so to Councillor Cooper's point, certainly we can start aggressive and ease back if need be. If all of a sudden we see, I don't know, $200 million worth of commercial and residential development, magically kind of plop down in the next 3 years, that significantly contributes to the tax base, then while the tax budget itself will still need to increase, then we're waylaying any concerns around tax rates. making sure that that affordability piece, again, I want to make sure I'm sticking within tax budget and not tax rates. I can I can feel the reminder. Certainly I'm partial towards the 10% myself. I think that we're hearing the baseline baseline sustainability approach is to just be at 9.67%. If anything, if I've been taught anything over these last 3.5 years, it is that there are always zingers, and there will always be some additional cost or increase to asset renewal costs. And so to have a little extra steam and to be able to even be a bit more, just be a bit more proactive, similarly to the way that we looked at sewer and water rates, being a bit more aggressive, allowing the compounding interest to begin working for us immediately, and then approaching it pragmatically, throughout, but moving forward in particular.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
So I just want to remind council that this is setting direction for 5 years. And so, for example, if 10% is the desired increase for the current year, you could certainly set it at 10%, contribute 100% of that to the capital reserves. And next year, when this question comes back, it could be set at 9.67 moving forward. And so if the direction that council is feeling most comfortable with, given the information provided, is 10% in the current year, I might suggest going with 10% and 9.5 every year thereafter. And I can make that in terms of capital contributions. And then in the future, if that reduces that sustainable funding gap and we're able to contribute less and contribute to policing reserves in the future, that's not a decision you must make this year.
Thank you. I'm gonna have some fun with Councilor Rowley's comment. You talked about water and sewer. We are aggressive on water and sewer, and I think that was the way to go with those utilities, because it's always been the desire to make them self-funding, and this is getting us there much quicker. That could also be a counter argument to actually being a little more aggressive on the budget increase for this year by virtue of it's a double whammy to the ratepayers. But I lean towards the 10% at this point in time. Councillor Wheel?
Just to let everybody know that the difference between the 9.67 and the 10% is $32,000, right? 32,400, I guess.
Actually, it'd be $1 million divided by five. It'd be $200,000 a year, would it not? Ms. Brown?
If you look at the municipal property taxes, the budget is 8,991 for 10%, and for the other scenario, it's 8,964. So it's not a huge difference. It's like, well, it's still a lot, because I don't know how many households it's gonna go across, but I think the 10%, unless there's some place we could cut the budget, like where can we cut the budget to save that $32,000?
Ms. Brown, you had your hand up for a moment.
I was just going to point to the difference in the 2026 financial plan balance. So 230,000 with the 10%, 200,000. So it is a $30,000 difference in the first year, approximately.
Thank you for that. Okay, Mr. Dennegar.
Do you want an answer to your question? The second part of the question, where do we cut? So what's been proposed, if you can remember back to one of the first slides about how to balance this if you don't want to do such big increases. This little red text there in the lower left. So if you're not wanting to increase tax revenues, then decreasing service levels is what we talk about. And service levels can be both operational services, the provision of recreation services, the provision of assets such as parks, ball fields, sidewalks, roads. How many potholes do you want? Those are service levels that could be reduced. Like And I think I mentioned this way back when we started this budget series of meetings, was that staff worked really hard to find every penny they could. You'll see that in the operational budgets that they've held the line. Some have gone down. Some of it, thankfully, is due to just, ending paying debt, but that fluctuates. But I think everyone's tightened their belts as much as they can operationally, and that's sort of the services that, people are providing to the public. But also there's been reductions in service levels where we think maybe we just don't need to repave every year. We can repave every other year, things like that. So where we could get away with it without having a big impact on the community, those cuts have been made. So anything more than that is going to have to be a very conscious and serious conversation with council as to, do we want to reduce service levels to the community, whether it be functional services or hard infrastructure services, the service levels. How nice do you want the roads to be? That sort of thing. With decreases in service levels of utilities, say water and sewer, you're of course going to be increasing risk for events like we see coming out of Calgary. I'm sure you don't want those. Some of it'll just be potentially other service level decreases, which are just a quality of life change. So the accessibility of neighborhoods because of the state of roads and sidewalks and pathways. So those are the service level decreases that council could consider if you want. But what's proposed by staff here in this presentation is the presumption that the service levels at the baseline presented in this budget are stable for the next 5 years. And the modifications that we're asking you to consider is, how much do you want to fund reserves to fund the replacement of hard assets? And so how long do we want to drag out that gap?
Thank you for that. I'll go with myself now. Councilor Guil, at this point in time, I lean towards the 10%, but I also believe we need to have that level of service conversation, not as part of the budget, not to influence the budgeting process, but just to have that level of service conversation across the board. What's appropriate, what's not appropriate, where do we need changes, where does service level need to be higher, where's the service, or where can the service level be lower? I think there's value in doing that outside the context of the budgeting process, because then you're not influenced by the dollars and cents. It's about what makes sense from a service level perspective. So just my comments. I'll go to Councilor Guil.
I lean towards the 10% as well, but I do like the reasons I was bringing up the user fees for recreation is a way for the users that are using those facilities to pay their fair share as well, because they're the ones that are using the facilities. And I think that was my intent, was to try to bring the budget down with that. I'm disappointed that we have to wait for a master plan to do this. Same with the business licensing as well. I mean, I feel like I've been bringing this up for 4 years. And I think we need to look at different ways of bringing revenue. And it's right, there's no magic grant that's going to show up and save us. And I feel bad that we have to go to a 10% for all of the ratepayer has to cover everything, where there's other ways that we could be bringing in revenue. So
absolutely, that's that conversation that's come from UBCM about fiscal futures. I think that was it, and the limitations that local governments have relative to just having property taxes as the revenue stream. Some of the conversation around how do we extract some revenues out of the visitors for services that they are not paying property taxes for. Those are all those conversations that we can still continue to explore for sure. Councilor Cooper?
And just when we've gone back, when we're looking at the 8%, to be clear, that also gives us $66,800 in the positive side. Like the 8%, if we're looking at 1 year, not over 5 years, what we're taxing for this year would not create a deficit. It gives us actually 66,000 positive at the 8% if we're looking at the 1 year. Like, so it's, again, we're looking at taxing rates for things that are not happening this year, which I understand reserves, so we don't have to tell me about reserves, I get it. But at the same time, in the 1 year scenario, 8% is not adding to a deficit for us.
Ms. Brown, can you speak to 66,000 in the deficit? The
So
gap.
the financial plan balance is just, it's the balancing amount for the current year. And so by adding that 66 into the capital reserves, we are still not meeting the 5-year sustainable funding gap. So if you look at the very bottom, that negative total, that 5.146 million, there is a percentage of that. There's a negative portion of that. If I were to do simply the 1-year funding gap total, it is in the negative for 8%.
So for what, okay, because then when I'm reading the other slide, when it's 66,000, I was taking that we were not in the negative for the 1 year if we are at 8%.
We would be not in the negative if we didn't consider asset management.
Yeah.
Which has been a bit of a practice for a number of years.
Yeah, and I mean so we're for the future, this, yeah, I get it. It's just like, but when we are looking at, it's the shift, but it is when we are looking at 1 year, we are also at 8%, not incurring anymore. We are paying for our sustainability for this year, not asset management.
And I guess I'm shaking hands by virtue of the fact that we would not be responsible to our asset management responsibilities.
Yeah, but it's just the point, like if we are at the point we are balancing at 8%. So when we're going beyond that, we are going beyond. So 9, 6, 7, and 10% is beyond just we are balanced the budget at 8%.
Ms. Brown?
So in all of these scenarios, the budget must be balanced. And so you are correct that in the first year at the 6%, there is a deficit at the end. And so that is where those cuts are required. And that all of the operational costs are all covered in scenarios 2 through 4. So 8% does cover all of the operational costs. There is no deficit. There is simply an asset management funding gap. And so those are two different things. You're right. It is a positive financial plan balance. But at the end of the day, what that would mean is that in the first year, that 66,000 would be going to capital reserves. In the next year, another amount would be going to the capital reserves in order to ensure. Does that?
Yeah, and I mean,
so
because
you are correct.
In my brain power that I'm thinking like 8% we budget, and then next year when we look at it, then we see where we're at. Are we still at 8% or are we higher, or like kind of if we're looking year after year where we actually are sitting, we are meeting our needs at the 8%.
Ms. Brown?
So you are meeting the needs of the operations. You are not meeting the needs of the assets that must be caretaken. And so in the 8% scenario, you are not taking into consideration any of the assets that currently exist and the need that we have for funds. And that's why it's the 5.146, is because you're stopping at the financial plan balance and not considering the assets whatsoever.
But at the 9.67, we are balancing over 5 years.
You got it.
So 9.67. So when we're going up to
That's the tricky
10%,
point.
we are going beyond what we actually require for 5 years. So that to me is a bit of an issue, because we only require the 9.67 over 5 years to balance, which does give us appropriate asset management, which does leave us in a positive space. So going beyond that to me is like, that's just increasing the stress on our taxation amounts when it's not needed. The 9.67 is what's needed to balance after 5 years.
Okay, Councillor Abbey?
Thank you, Worship. I guess shifting there or changing the lens a bit, I suppose the 8% scenario is saying we would want to be solvent or fiscally responsible with respect to assets within 15-ish, 10 to 15 years. The 9.67% is saying in 5 years, we want to be solvent with respect when we're accounting for asset management. And the 10% is saying within 4 years, give or take, we would like to achieve that financial sustainability. again, recognizing that each year we can adjust that tax budget increase so as to shift when we would like to achieve financial sustainability. The 10% isn't necessarily over and above. It's just saying we want to get there a little bit sooner, and or we would like to meet it within 5 years, recognizing that there's probably a little extra something that isn't, that's just going to come up, or we want a little extra in the bank in 5 years because who knows, a little emergency piece if we have a situation. So certainly not a over and above situation, but more we would like to be there sooner to break the wheel of robbing future generations.
Thank you for that. Ms. Brown?
I just want to remind council that we're working with very preliminary numbers right now. And so what may happen is that the number comes back for the 5-year or for ongoing sustainable funding, and it's less. Or it might come back and it's more. And so the difference between 10 and 9.67 at this point is not very much. And whichever direction council chooses to go, there are likely to be changes next year in any case. And so simply setting a direction at this point in time to move forward, either with 10 or 9 or 6, would be advisable, knowing that those numbers are yet to be confirmed. And so I don't want to have any kind of certainty with council to say if we go with 10%, we're going to have more money than we need.
We've solved
Or-
all the problems.
Well, and this is simply the 5-year sustainable funding gap. There are many more years to come and much more information. Council, similar to councilors of the past, you can only do the best you can with the information that you have currently. And so although they might have thought previously that they were doing the best that they could with the information that they have, the same for you is that this is the information we have currently. It is built on some estimates. And so a direction moving forward is required regardless of those estimates.
You're
I hope
so-
it helps.
You're so kind to previous councils.
As I hope future ones will be too.
I'll go to Council Beal, then Council Gilbert.
I just want to remind council too that we've seen these increases in like water and sewer, like these RFPs that we've been putting out, like huge. And that the geopolitical, what's going on in the world right now is going to affect this budget. And I think we should be a little bit more aggressive in setting the tax rates or setting the budget this year, because we know that gas prices are going to go up, and that's going to affect everything. It's going to affect sewer and water, like garbage. It's going to affect that because we pay that fee. So I think it's really important that we consider that when we make this. I don't want to pay more taxes. I don't want anybody to have to pay more taxes, but what do you do when we run out of money? Like, we change the taxes later in the same year, can you? So I think we should be aggressive.
Thank you.
I'll
Council
just,
Gilbert.
for my last say, I think 9.67 is reasonable that we get to the 0 in 5 years. 5 years is fine for me, and I'm more of an optimist and think we'll figure it out. We were getting to 0 at 9.67. There is a pot of gold out there and we'll get it. And I just feel that it is coming to 0 at the 9.67 in the 5 years. And I am comfortable with 5-year financial plan at the 0. So that's where I'm standing.
Thank you. Council Manuel?
I think we have to be conservative in this, financially conservative, because we're looking at the figures here, but we know there are things we can't decide yet. There will be needs come up that we haven't dealt with yet, and we haven't been able to plan. I mean, we got a bloody swimming pool coming, possibility coming up in sometime, and God knows what we're going to do. So I think we have to be careful, and I think also that we got partially into this bind because we got caught by rising costs a few years ago, and that pushed it up, and we're getting closer to the same situation now, I believe.
Thank you. Just a comment now, while we have no attendees, that this afternoon we will have some CBC media paying attention to a portion of our meeting. So we may want to watch our P's and Q's. Councilor Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor. I think everyone's, I feel like there's been fulsome conversation with respect to which scenario, but I do want to quickly pick up your point around service levels and echo. I feel that there's really great value when we're faced with this like prospect of, okay, what are we gonna cut with respect to the 6% scenario? It's like, well, we don't even have a baseline of what those service level definitions are, and I feel like there's real value for staff to be able to say, okay, if council is setting this as the service level, that's just it. This is what it's going to cost, or you know, and to be able to play with those rather than just kind of amorphously shifting numbers around and hoping that you know that $90,000 cut or $96,000 $642 cut from operating budgets here and there, you know, was that quite a few loads of gravel, I suppose. But you know, without having clear service level definitions, it becomes a very difficult task, more so for staff than for committee or council, I would say. So certainly supportive of ongoing conversations outside of the budget cycle, so that then those definitions can inform the budgets moving forward.
So good discussion. I think everybody's kind of gotten to the place where they're at. And I'll look to staff now and say next steps in this process. Ms. Brown?
We would request direction from council regarding what revenue percentage we should be aiming for, and perhaps direction as well that the increase should be going to capital reserves. So that Standing Committee on Finance recommend council approve an X% tax revenue budget increase to be contributed to capital reserves for inclusion in the draft financial plan.
So we're gonna adapt this one to the language that we just heard.
Sorry, I added that one in after this. So that the Standing Committee on Finance recommend council approve an X% tax revenue budget increase, with the increase going to capital reserves for inclusion in the draft plan.
I've got a mover in Council Guio. Among us. Oh, move.
Oh, sorry,
That is.
10%.
My God, that's amazing. So Council Guio moving that resolution with the 10% number, and looking for seconder, Councilor Routley seconding that. Any final discussion? I'm almost frightened to ask this on the resolution. Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution? Opposed? Councilor Manuel, I'm counting you in favor. Councilor Dale, are you voting in favor or opposed? Please verbalize.
In favor.
Okay. I'm voting in favor, so Councilor Cooper is opposed. The motion is passed with Councilor Cooper opposed. And now, Ms. Brown, with that in your back pocket, do we move on to the next discussion?
We most certainly do. Unless
Actually, I thought I said to myself, after 2 hours, we're gonna take a bio break. So we'll take the bio break and then we'll move into the tax rate scenarios. So 7 minutes.
But I don't know.
So reconvening, we're now moving on to tax rate scenarios. And we have the advantage, is that where we're going? And we have the advantage of technology where we can adjust things as we go. Ms. Brown, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor Ozust. So based on our very, very recent conversation, I am going to, I can make this smaller, Alicia, because farm and supportive housing are both 0. So I can hide those to help you see this a little better. Does that help? So we are going to discuss the base assessment, the ratios and rates from last year, what new construction non-market change means for the current year, and then where council would like to see the application of their policies and what outcome there is for the tax rate bylaw. So this is the 2026 base assessment, excluding the non-market change. So 1.367 billion. And applying the prior year rates and ratios, we get the 2026 levy. So this is basically saying if everything was the same and it was just the assessment that changed, what would the levy be for the existing homeowners? And then it takes the non-market change. So the assessments for non-market change, you can see there's a bit of a jump there between light industry and major industry. So a reduction in the light industry by 1.4 and an increase in major industry by 2.5. And an overall levy contribution of about $107,000 from non-market change, making the total levy to reach that 10% budgeted increase of 8.991 million, a 4.25% increase across the board. So the rate increase across the board initially is 4.25, but what that means based on policy and on the rates for each individual class is the next thing that we're going to look at. So 107,787 from non-market change, meaning that the existing plus non-market change properties need to make up 709,000 in order for us to reach our 26 property tax budget. Does this make mostly sense? Yeah. Okay, great. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about your policy ratios. And so I will make this bigger. So council approved tax policy includes from the past, and this is for council to set once again, is that they ensure that there is a fair and equitable apportionment of taxes to each property class. And the intention is to set tax rates with the goal of tax stability. And then to strive to keep the proportions at similar ratio to past years, as the existing proportionate share has been established through years of public process. And then last year was added to strive to move class 8 equivalent to class 5 and 6 over the course of the next 3 years. And so with this scenario, we also have to take into account that the utilities must be calculated as the other tax rates, but there is a legislated cap of the greater of 2.5 times commercial, or $40 for every 1,000 of assessment. And so this once again is just that scenario that we saw on the last page. And so what I've done is initially prepared 2 scenarios for council. Let's go with just residential initially. I'm just gonna move this across 1 second. And so the initial scenario with the standard policy limits is simply setting the maximum limit for class 2 utilities. So that is what must be done. And that results in an average total dollar increase of $171 for an average residential property, a rate of 4.51%, and an average monthly increase of $14 for a residential property. So $14 a month with this initial scenario. Taking into account the council directed policies, I've also matched the rate for class 5 and 6. And class 8, I've moved half of the remaining distance towards class 5 and 6. So they're now at 79% of the class 5-6 rate, with the intention next year of being at 100% of the class 5-6 rate.
Sorry, thank you. For clarification, you said this was taken into consideration that the increase for commercial industry was 2.5? Was the minimum or was the max?
The minimum or the maximum for utilities is $40 per 1,000 of assessment.
Okay.
And so that is the we cannot charge any more for them. And so if our rates change in such a way that they are being charged more than 40,
Yeah.
we need to adjust it to bring them back down. So that's the first initial scenario at the top. The second scenario also includes matching the rate for class 5 and 6 and moving class 8 towards class 5 and 6.
Thank
And
you.
so those ones were council directed and are up for debate, I suppose. And so this is the impact on the average residential property. And so that the moving and the matching of the class 5 and 6 and moving class 8 towards class 5 and 6 means that it's $167 for the year for an average property and an average monthly increase of, again, $14 a month. So not a large change there. But now if I expand it out and I look at those two same policies for class 4, 5, 6, 8, and 2. So class 2, I'm going to hide because that's going to the maximum. So that's a $22 per month increase. Unless anybody wants to review that, but that is set by legislation and cannot be any higher. So I'll hide that one, which leaves us with class 8, 6, 5, 4, and 1. And so you can see that the difference for class 5 and 6 is nominal between the two scenarios. There's a slightly more of an increase in change between major industry and recreational. So for recreational with biggest impact, it means that their average monthly increase goes from $9 in the first scenario. And then by making their rate closer to light industry and business, it brings them to $45 per month as an increase. And so for council's recollection, these properties are mainly composed of a lot of the permissive tax exemption properties are within this. And so the likelihood of bringing a larger amount for permissive tax exemptions will be coming to council. And so if they choose to exempt it, it would be larger this year. In this case, I believe there are a few other recreational properties in this, such as a couple of campgrounds, also any of the statutorily exempt. So for example, churches, if they have a parking lot, the parking lot would be considered that part recreational, which would then come up for permissive tax exemption as well. I can't speak to 100% of the properties that were within this particular category. However, that was the reasoning for council from prior years, is that usually these are business operated, if not permissively tax exempt.
And the number of units is actually quite small, is it not?
I believe there are recreational properties. There are 1,187. So, oh, sorry, average tax per unit. The number of properties are 29.
Thank you.
For clarity, for those recreation properties, how many of those, how many of those are the permissive or are tax exempt? We don't know. So we potentially vote and it comes up and then we find out afterwards that it's tax exempt and they're not paying this. Is that correct?
Ms. Brown?
It would increase the value of the tax exemption for the current year, and it would impact your decision making for tax exemptions for next year.
To a maximum, because we do have a ceiling for the permissive
We
tax
do.
exemptions.
Can we make a note when we come through the tax exemption to remind us of this or something? Because I feel like when we're talking about tax exemptions, I don't necessarily relate it to this number when we're thinking about it now. So if we could bring it back to have this included with our tax exemption conversation would help remind us what the exemption costs us actually of what we're losing in taxation dollars.
Ms. Brown?
So as a part of that tax exemption, the permissive tax exemption process, we would be using the established tax rate to calculate the value of that tax exemption for next year. And so if you were to increase the rate in this way, it will automatically come back with that value and dollar amount. So you will know exactly, you will know exactly the estimate.
Councilor Creel?
Do we know what we collected in taxes in that last year that actually was paid? Like if you said that in 2025 that how much did we get? 8.174 from recreation property.
I am not 100% certain on that balance. Let me take
I
a
just
look
want
here.
to know how you know that they're going to be asking for a tax
So
exemption.
the total levy for 2026 here would be $34,000.
Okay, and then so $34,000.
Mhm.
So last year they had a pretty hefty increase because we raised,
A little bit.
yeah,
Mhm.
and we were kind of warned that you know they would be upset. But did that result in more people applying for a tax exemption from that class? Because I know what you're saying now, it's going to happen, but it didn't happen last year when we almost doubled it.
So last year's
Increase.
last year's increase would have impacted the value of our tax exemptions for this year, but this year's increase would impact the value of tax exemptions for next year. And so long as council is approving the tax exemption, there is no impact. And I believe that currently within recreational, this $34,000 does not include the permissively exempt for 2026. And so those that have been exempted by council are not included in this calculation because we cannot collect from them. They are exempted. And so the case this year, when council makes their decision about exemptions for next year, if they were to exempt fewer properties, then perhaps the recreational portion will increase when we calculate next year's taxes. So it's sort of a year delay in terms of the realization of that.
And for clarity, there's just a limited number that we can actually, we have any authority over to say yes or no to a tax exemptions, because some of them are statutory.
Some of them are statutorily exempt.
Yeah.
The permissive tax exemptions, however, are within council's policy 100% to determine. And the limit on that permissive tax exemption is, I believe, I can't remember if it's 1.5 or 2% of the prior year taxes. However, that limit is also set by council policy. And so that will be revisited.
It'll come back to us. Okay, thank you.
So the question to council would be, are you prepared to have the tax rate bylaw prepared based on the scenario number one, which applies all of council's previously set policy, or is there anything else for consideration at this point in time? And should you wish to have that tax rate bylaw prepared, we can certainly begin to do that based on scenario one or otherwise.
Councilor Cooper?
Just for my math skills, we're looking at the 2026 at 561,000 as an average property. I'm gonna say our average property is probably higher than that. So when I work it out on a property of 842,900, the difference is $256 a year for situation one, and situation two, it's $251 a year for a $840,000 house. So the difference really is about $5 either one for residential. I'm only calculating the residential, and the only reason I'm saying is because a lot of average houses are more than the 500,000 now. I know that's the medium, but let's think about the reality is. So I'm saying that either one, there's not much difference impact, which usually I'm the one who's arguing for the residential. I don't see a huge difference for either one if we go between the residential between choice A and choice B.
So you could live with it, either one of these scenarios.
Usually I'm the needle. I could live with either. I'm gonna give that now and say,
And speaking to the impacts to the other class categories. I mean, so my takeaway is industrial will go up $12,000 a year. Right, major industrial, light industry goes down. Business goes up a little bit.
So I calculated that the $850,000 property from last year, and I used the same average increase of decrease, a very little percentage, so 0.388, and that it would be a $21 per month. So it's pretty good math. And
So Councilor Cooper, your math is right on the money.
Mhm.
Follow up, Councilor Cooper.
my next question would be on the major industry, the difference of the $18 between 1 and 2 when their property is, so what, I know there's not as many major industries, and what is the property value? What is it calculated out when we have 400, is that 496,000? No, okay, never mind.
4.9.
4.9, yeah, I get it.
No question there.
No question there.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions from council or scenarios that you want to see? Any positioning thoughts?
Good, everybody's
Councilor Rotley?
Thank you, Mayor. I guess just how does this compare with respect to, say, the residential portion? The proportion of total taxation being allocated through residential. How does that, in previous years, we've kind of looked at how we've had that lovely graph that has shown the proportion and how that has changed, and we've seen that inversion from commercial to residential.
So this is the percentage of taxes.
Yeah.
And we are looking at 53% of the tax being covered by oh, wait, let me make sure I have the right scenario. This is, I'm gonna have to, because I've done a couple of calculations here. So 10% increase, sorry. 10% increase to policy ratio. You're going to have to watch me go through all of this now. So I'm going to set this to 40. I'm going to set this equal to this. And this equals 2.8. This needs to go to 40. All right, let's just make sure that's right. 8991. Council scenario 4515. Residential. Not right. And this one. 455. So we would have about 53.59% being covered by residential and 34% by commercial.
I'm trying to think what it was last year. I was going to try and bring it up.
Here you go. This is the, can I make this bigger? With the goal of tax stability, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's actually dropped.
So I guess
A little
in this current proposal, the only major swing, I guess the largest relative swing would be within that major industry, where we're looking at an additional $1,000 a month in taxation on the average property.
And can you
Is that
remind us
accurate?
how many are in that major industries or?
In the major industry category, there are
Or
4 properties.
So what about?
Mill? That's it.
With an average property.
That's down from last year, right?
It is down from last year, but to be noted is that a large, over 1.2 million of light industry was moved into major industry, so they will have an increased tax already.
Okay,
Mhm. If you look at that average value, it's gone down significantly. It's probably a larger property that was moved into major industry.
$53.55, 50. So it seems like sorry, say again, there's a question there.
Mhm. It is a negative rate because of this
Because the volume of within that category has been reduced
significantly
and it's
decreased.
shifted over to major. So it's not reflective of their actual cost per unit. It's reflective of the number of units within that category. So I pulled up that wonderful chart from last year, percentage of total municipal tax paid comparing residential and commercial. And yeah, it's a small adjustment. It was 53.55 last year from this chart, and now it's 53.59.
5.9.
And the other one was 35.26. And what's this one?
34.76. Decrease for commercial, very minor increase for residential.
And again, it's continuing on that trend that council has done over the last, well, actually last 12, probably almost close to 15 years. Decrease in commercial, increase in residential portion of the overall taxation. And the historical rationale on that was residential is where the services are actually utilized, more units. Is that Ms. Chair? So is there any concern? We have 2 scenarios there. Do we want direction on either one of the 2?
So the top scenario only takes into account the legislated maximums, where the bottom scenario, number 1, actually takes into account all of council's direct desires. So
then at this point in
believe-
time, are you looking for direction? So, whoop. So we haven't explored any other scenarios, so there is only one scenario right now. It's scenario 1. Yeah. So, and that's to the question Ms. Brown has, is there any other things that we would like to explore? Now is the opportunity to juggle the numbers, or we'll get this resolution on the floor at scenario 1 is seen as there's only one scenario. Any exploration?
Can we just
Councilor Cooper?
clarify, because the top one says initial scenario, so it's not labeled, this top one's
the
labeled.
top one is initial, but
And
scenario.
then scenario 1 is what we're talking about, the
Correct.
bottom one there, so everyone's
Yeah.
clear that that's the one we're
Absolutely.
talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, the initial scenario is included just so that you have a baseline.
Yeah.
Before applying council policy. Okay.
And the last thing we want to do is not apply council policy.
Absolutely.
Okay, with that, do I have a mover? Counselor Utley, moving the resolution that's on the screen. Counselor Guio seconding that. Any further discussion? Counselor Guio, you were quietly talking about some other suggestions. You're okay that we don't need to explore those?
No, I'd like to follow the policy, so I'm okay with it.
Perfect. Okay, with that, I'm gonna call the question. All those in favor, of the resolution? Counselor Manuel, are you in favor? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, got the thumbs up. Council around the table, all in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. So Ms. Brown, is there any supplemental information you'd like from us?
I believe now all that is left is to prepare both the financial plan bylaw and the tax rate bylaw for first reading and the budget book soon for presentation. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Much
So with
appreciated.
that, there's no new business and we go on to item number 10. Counselor Routley, motion to adjourn. Counselor Guio seconding that. All those in favor? Opposed? So how can we deal with that with the meeting being adjourned?
I'll look to see if that was actually.
Okay.
I think it said it was to be included.
Counselor Dale? I see you have your hand up.
No, just still up.
Oh, my apologies. So we're just seeking some clarification. And then we'll determine process.
So
Quick enough.
yeah, so the direction to staff to bring forward a staff report regarding the police reserve and then possibilities for that. I think we all talked about it. We even remember that, but it's not there in writing resolution. So I say on the record now, I guess, that is the intention of the staff, is to come forward with a standalone staff report, giving all the legislative background, the options, the impact on reserves, funding, so forth. As
Can
a
you
staff
say that again, please?
on the record for the mayor's public. So staff will come back with a report for that. So that we can talk about it without the mess of all the other budget conversations that are going on. So you can really consider that as its own standalone thing. And that way it can be fed into the next budget cycle without it distracting from everything else.
Thank you for that, Ms. Seville.
And just to add, as you'll see on the regular open council meeting today, there is still an outstanding resolution on this from 2025 to include it on as part of the budget discussion. So as long as that's there, it's we're still tracking it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for asking the question. We got clarification now. So we're formally adjourned. We'll regather shortly, 1:15?